The Adventure of Sam and the Magical Marble. Once upon a time, in a world not so unlike our own, there was a village nestled between two tall mountains. In this village lived a young boy named Sam, who was always curious and always looking for adventure. Sam lived with his grandmother, as his parents had passed away when he was just a baby. His grandmother always told him stories of magical creatures and far-off lands, and he dreamt of experiencing them himself one day. Every evening, Sam would climb a tall hill overlooking the village to watch the sunset and dream of adventures. One evening, while Sam was deep in thought, an old man approached him. This man was known as Old Master Tim in the village. Many said he was a wizard, but nobody really knew the truth. "Sam," Old Master Tim began, "I see the desire for adventure in your eyes. The same look I had when I was your age." Sam looked at him with surprise, wondering where this conversation was headed. Old Master Tim reached into his robe and pulled out a small, shining marble. It was unlike anything Sam had ever seen, glowing with a soft light and changing colors every few seconds. "This," the old man said, "is the magical marble of destiny. It has the power to transport you to any place in the world, real or imagined. However, you must remember one thing. Once you decide to return, you must whisper to the marble, 'Take me home.' Otherwise, you may be lost forever." Overwhelmed with excitement, Sam took the marble from Old Master Tim. Without giving it much thought, he closed his eyes and whispered, "I want to go to the land of dragons." Suddenly, Sam found himself in a vast open field with huge mountains in the distance. The sky was filled with dragons, some flying leisurely while others roared fiercely. Remembering his grandmother's stories, he approached one of the gentler-looking dragons and introduced himself. The dragon, named Draken, was wise and kind. They quickly became friends, and Sam spent days learning about the land and even riding on Draken's back, soaring through the skies. However, soon, trouble brewed. The once peaceful dragons began fighting amongst themselves. A wicked sorcerer had come to the land and was causing discord. The sorcerer had heard of the magical marble and wanted it for himself to control all worlds. Sam, with the help of Draken, decided to confront the sorcerer. As they reached the sorcerer's lair, Sam felt a tug in his pocket. The magical marble was glowing brighter than ever. Without realizing, in the heat of the moment, Sam shouted, "I wish the sorcerer would disappear." To his astonishment, the sorcerer vanished instantly. However, the marble too lost its glow, becoming a regular stone. Sam had used up its last magical wish. Lost and without the magical marble's power to return home, Sam felt desolate. Days turned into weeks, but there was no way out. Until one day, while sitting atop a mountain with Draken, he remembered Old Master Tim's words, "Once you decide to return, you must whisper to the marble, 'Take me home.'" Even though the marble had lost its glow, Sam took a chance. Holding it tight, he whispered, "Take me home." Suddenly, the world around him started spinning. When he opened his eyes, he was back on the hill overlooking his village, with the marble glowing once again in his hand. Old Master Tim approached him with a knowing smile, "I see you've had your adventure, young Sam. Always remember, the real magic lies in belief." Sam nodded, hugging the magical marble and realizing that the biggest adventure was believing in oneself and the magic of the universe. And from that day on, he viewed every day as an adventure, with or without the magical marble. The Tale of the Forgotten Realm. Months after his incredible adventure, Sam's life in the village returned to its usual quiet rhythm. The magical marble, now a constant companion, lay nestled in a special pouch around his neck, its glow dimmer but still very much present. However, Sam's heart was restless. His experience in the land of dragons had ignited a fire in him, a yearning to explore more, to understand the depths of the marble's magic. One day, while Sam was wandering through the village's old library, he found a dusty old tome titled Legends of the Lost Worlds. Intrigued, he opened it and was immediately engrossed by a tale of a forgotten realm, a place where time stood still and ancient creatures roamed freely. Legend said that this realm was only accessible by those with pure hearts and powerful magic. Feeling the weight of the marble around his neck, Sam wondered if it could be the key to entering this forgotten realm. That night, under the canopy of stars, Sam held the marble tightly in his hands and whispered, "Take me to the Forgotten Realm." The world around him morphed, and soon he found himself standing at the edge of a dense, misty forest. The atmosphere was thick with ancient energy, and the air was filled with the songs of birds he had never heard before. As he ventured deeper into the forest, he encountered creatures straight out of myths, unicorns grazing by shimmering ponds, griffins soaring overhead, and tiny glowing fairies dancing around him. However, as he continued his journey, he felt a sense of unease. The deeper he went, the denser the forest became, and a dark shadow seemed to be following him, just out of sight. As night fell, Sam made a small campfire. The comforting glow of the flames and the magical marble kept his fears at bay. Suddenly, a soft voice whispered from the shadows, "Why have you come here, young traveler?" From the darkness emerged a tall, ethereal woman with flowing silver hair and robes that sparkled like the night sky. She introduced herself as Lysandra, the guardian of the Forgotten Realm. "I sensed a foreign energy, and now I see it's because of that," she said, pointing to the marble. "Such powerful magic does not belong in this realm. It upsets the balance." Sam explained his journey and his desire to explore. Lysandra, although wary, was moved by his pure intentions. "Very well," she said. "You may stay, but you must promise not to use the marble's magic while you're here." Sam agreed. Over the next few days, Lysandra showed him the wonders of the realm. They rode on the backs of griffins, swam with mermaids in crystal-clear lagoons, and danced with fairies under the moonlight. All the while, the dark shadow continued to lurk, growing bolder and closer with each passing day. One evening, as they were enjoying a peaceful moment by a waterfall, the shadow attacked, revealing itself to be a monstrous creature, a remnant of the realm's darkest past. Lysandra, caught off guard, was ensnared by its powerful magic. Remembering the marble's power, Sam faced a difficult choice. He had promised Lysandra he wouldn't use its magic, but he couldn't let her be harmed. With a heavy heart, he held up the marble, commanding the creature to vanish. The creature shrieked and disintegrated into the ether. However, the balance of the realm was indeed upset. The skies darkened, and a violent storm began. Lysandra, freed from the creature's grasp, realized the only way to restore balance was for Sam to leave. Understanding the gravity of his actions, Sam whispered to the marble, "Take me home." He returned to his village, filled with gratitude and a deeper understanding of responsibility. The magical marble's glow had diminished further, but Sam knew that some doors, once opened, were meant to be closed. And he cherished the memories, wisdom, and lessons of the Forgotten Realm forever. The Legacy of the Lost Worlds. Years went by, and Sam's adventures became legends in his village. The boy who had once been consumed by wanderlust had matured into a wise leader. People from far and wide would visit to listen to his tales of magical realms, ancient creatures, and powerful lessons. However, as time wore on, the magical marble around Sam's neck lost its glow entirely. Its once radiant light was now just a faint shimmer, barely noticeable. But its power was not lost on Sam. He understood that its magic was not just in its ability to transport him to different worlds, but in the experiences and lessons it brought into his life. One day, a young girl named Lila approached Sam. She was curious, brave, and had that familiar fire in her eyes, the same fire Sam had when he was her age. "I want to have adventures too, just like you," she exclaimed. "Can the magical marble take me to those places?" Sam looked at the dim marble and then into Lila's eager eyes. He sighed, "The marble's magic isn't what it used to be. But if it's stories and lessons you seek, then sit with me." Over the next few days, Lila became Sam's shadow, listening to his tales, absorbing his wisdom, and asking endless questions. Sam saw so much of his younger self in her. He realized that while he might not pass on the magic of the marble in the traditional sense, he could pass on its legacy. One evening, after a particularly enthralling story session, Sam took Lila to the top of the hill where he used to watch the sunset. "You know, Lila," he began, "true magic doesn't always come from objects or external sources. Sometimes, the most potent magic comes from within, from the stories we carry, the lessons we learn, and the love we share. Lila looked up at him, but I still wish I could see those places and experience those adventures. Sam smiled. Close your eyes, Lila. Picture the land of dragons, feel the wind as you soar on Draken's back, hear the laughter of the fairies in the Forgotten Realm, sense the danger of the lurking shadows, and feel the joy of dancing under the moonlit sky with magical beings. As Lila closed her eyes and imagined the scenes, she felt a warmth envelop her. The wind rustled around them, and for a brief moment, she felt like she was in those magical realms. When she opened her eyes, tears streamed down her face. I felt it, she whispered. I felt the magic. Sam nodded. That's the power of stories, Lila. They have the magic to transport us, to make us feel, and to teach us. The magical marble might have lost its glow, but its essence, its true magic, will always live on through stories. Lila hugged Sam tightly, understanding the profound lesson he had imparted. Promise me you'll keep sharing these tales, she said. I promise, Sam replied, as long as you promise to pass them on too. And so, the legacy of the magical marble, the adventures, and the lessons lived on, not through the object itself, but through the tales told, retold, and cherished by generations. The village, once a quiet little place, became a beacon of stories, drawing in people from all over, eager to experience the magic of the lost worlds through the legacy of Sam and the magical marble. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe for more interesting stories.